Hey, what's up, you guys? So today is pretty random, but I basically just wanted to come on here and share something that I wish someone had told me when I was stuck in my own rut, when I was depressed, when I was really wanting everything to change, but just not knowing how to get out of that pit or get out of that state of mind and whatever. And that is, yeah, pretty much what I've So yeah, I was really trying to film this while she was asleep, but that just didn't work out as usual. But yeah, what I wanted to talk about today is that no one is coming to save you. I'm sorry, that sounds harsh, but I say that in the most loving way possible because we get stuck in these dark spaces or like these depressive episodes or depressing states of being, thinking that, oh, you know what, one day I'm gonna wake up and things are just gonna be magically different, or one day I'm gonna meet someone and all of a sudden, things are gonna change and, change for the better. And it just doesn't work like that. And I had to learn that the hard way. I was one of those people where like I couldn't see a better tomorrow. I didn't know how I would get out. I didn't know what better looked like. Like I didn't know what to aspire to, but I was just depressed and I was suicidal and I just wanted out, man. I just wanted it all to end. And sometimes I wanted it to end with me, but sometimes I really just wanted it to end and I wanted to know that tomorrow would be different. Like I would wake up the following day and it would be better. I would be better. I would be happier. But over time, I had to come to the realization that it all starts with me. Like it starts with me realizing that no one is coming to save me. Like no one is coming to my aid. No one is gonna come and take it upon themselves or make it their mission to make my life better. I need to decide that for myself. And if I am indeed really, really looking for a savior, then I've got Jesus for that. But even then, I had to change my mind and be renewed by the transforming of my mind to get to a point where I'm like, okay, you know what, Jesus, I'm not trying to do this by myself anymore. I'm inviting you to help me figure this out. Help me get out of this depressive state. But that's the thing though with depression, it's not easy to just switch your mind like that and be like, oh, okay, you know what, I'm choosing to be happy today. It's a chemical imbalance in the brain, which means that it's not just your thoughts you're fighting. It's a literal physiological, biological aspect of yourself that you constantly need to work at. Sometimes through medication, I don't believe in that, by the way. Sometimes through prayer, that really works. Sometimes through therapy, that definitely works. But it takes time. There's no instant fix. There's no quick fix. There's no sudden, there's no pill that just switches things off and on like that. It doesn't work like that. It takes time, it takes work, it takes effort, and sometimes it takes money because therapy is money. But yeah, like no one is coming to save you, but you can save yourself, and it's up to you to save yourself in the sense that you decide that you don't want to be depressed anymore. You don't want to be stuck in that place anymore. You don't want to feel the way that you feel anymore. You want better for you. You want to heal. You want to become better. You want to experience a better and sweeter, higher like version of life. Like you need to aspire for better. And after you've decided that, you need to actively work at going towards that or striving towards that by reading the Bible and feeding your mind so you can be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You renew your mind by learning new things, new truths, adopting those new truths, and living according to the word, which is the truth. The word of God is the truth. And so living according to the word is what does the transformation. But that all starts with you. That's why Jesus died for you. He's the only savior that you need and have. And so Yeah, man, no one's coming to save you. Like, that day that you're hoping, you're gonna wake up and things are just gonna be dramatically different, it just doesn't work like that. It does happen over time, but you have to make it happen. You have to put in the work to make it happen. You have to do your part. You have a part to play, a very big part of that, and you have to actively participate in bringing that change about. No one has come to save you. This is probably the hardest because now you're tapping into unknown territory. You're tapping into, foreign means of being and becoming. And this is basically the part where where you've now decided that, you know what, I want to live differently. I want to be happy. I don't want to be depressed anymore. I don't want to be stuck in this rut anymore. I don't want to constantly live in fear. I don't want to be treated like this anymore if you're in a relationship or even a friendship that is not mutually beneficial, especially for you. I don't want to be a victim anymore. I don't want to be a victim of circumstance anymore. I don't want to be a victim of my environment anymore. I want to change. You've decided that you want to change. You've taken it upon yourself to embark on that mission of, bringing this change about. Now comes the big step, which is staying the course. How do you stay the course? You obviously need to decide how you want to go about it. But the most important thing is to take it one day at a time. I know that when you've been depressed for a long time, you tend to want to think in the long term. You want to know what's going to happen a week from now. You're probably thinking to yourself, you're probably even doubting yourself, like, am I going to be able to carry this out for as long as I want to? Am I going to be able to like stay the course for a week, a month, a year? Am I going to be able to convince myself to stay on this journey for as long as I'd like to? You can't think like that. Because remember, you're tapping into uncharted territory. You're tapping into a foreign concept. Well, it's foreign to you, but like you're starting something that you haven't done before. You're embarking on a journey that you've never been on. So you literally have to take it one day at a time. I'm sorry, I'm sick. Sinusitis is kicking my ass, but you literally have to take it one day at a time. What does that look like? It looks like you getting up every day and deciding, consciously making the decision to be present in every single moment of that day, not worrying about tomorrow. The Bible says that tomorrow has its own troubles and tomorrow belongs to God. That means that you can't be worrying about tomorrow because you don't even know if you're going to be alive tomorrow. God forbid something happens to you, but you don't know if you're going to wake up the following day. So just be present in the day that you're currently living in, and just let tomorrow and its own troubles, take care of itself. Just every day has enough troubles of its own. That's in the Bible. Every day has enough troubles of its own, and so just focus on the day at hand and take it one day at a time. Be kind to yourself in that day. If you've got a lot going on, try to simplify your life. Simplify your life into what you know for a fact you're able to handle. Don't overcommit. Don't have so many things going on that you barely even have time for yourself, because that too is going to be overwhelming. And the thing about depression is that when you're depressed, you don't want to do anything at all because you feel like nothing, has a purpose, that nothing matters. But you need to get to a place where you find things that matter to you. If it's work, then make sure that you do all your tasks accordingly and are able to carry them out as you should in that day. And be kind to yourself. Don't set out big missions or a lot of goals for one day. Don't have a long ass to-do list that you can't even get halfway with it, and then at the end of the day you feel pathetic because you couldn't carry everything out. Don't do that. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Recognize that you are only human, and this is the beginning. As you pick up momentum, as you start to become confident, you gain your confidence back, and you're able to just do this without having to work at it, then you can start taking big bites. But for now, just nibble at it. Take it one task at a time, one day at a time. Be patient with yourself, be kind with to yourself, and do everything consciously. Be present in every single moment. Don't do things for just for the sake of doing them, you know. If you're washing the dishes, let that ground you. Be in that moment, take your time in washing the dishes, allow yourself to feel the water on your hands. I'm telling you, these are things, little things that seem like they don't matter, but they do. They make all the difference. They make all the difference, because as you feel the water, you know, running over your hands, you start to become in touch with yourself again. When was the last time you really felt yourself? When was the last time you looked at yourself in the mirror and were able to literally take in every detail of who you are? So it's in these moments that ground you that you're able to actually reflect on this and be like, okay, you know what, actually, maybe life isn't so bad, you know? I'm grateful that I have dishes to wash, which means that I've had food to eat, which means that I have a working tap. I don't have to go to a river to go. I'm not saying compare yourself, but like find things to be grateful for, man, you know? Which brings me to the third point. Practice gratitude. Gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to bring yourself back to your current reality. Sheesh. English is not anyone's friend. But gratitude is the most effective way to get yourself back to your, you know, your reality. It helps you to really, really observe and ground yourself in terms of like understanding or coming to terms with who you are, what you have, and what is really actually going good for you. Because if you're stuck in a place of, oh, nothing is going right, but you're still able to be like, oh, sheesh, but I woke up. I mean, I made my eyes open, but I could not make myself see. That is God's grace. That is God's mercy, which, you know, goodness and mercy followed me all the days of my life. So be grateful for that. Like, sheesh, I have all my senses are fully functional. I'm grateful for that. I have food to eat. I have cereal. You know, I have choices when it comes to the kind of food I want to eat. Be grateful for that. It may seem, these are things we often take for granted. It may seem very, I don't know, minute or like it doesn't matter, but that's just you being spoiled. And it's very easy to get into that trap when you're struggling with mental illnesses or um, you know, just in a dark space, to lose sight of what is actually going really good in your life. Just because you have something every day can literally make you lose sight of its importance. That's why relationships fail in most cases. But yeah, try to be grateful, find things to be grateful for, and try to stay in that mindset of gratitude, because the more grateful you are, the more things you will find to be grateful for, the more things will appear around you that you can be grateful for. So yeah, man, practice gratitude. But yeah, the fourth point that I wanna touch on is speak to someone. If you don't have friends, if you can't afford therapy, if you don't have anyone that you feel you can trust enough to speak to and be vulnerable with, then get a journal and write your feelings down. Every thought matters. Write it down as it is. You don't have to complicate it. You don't have to be a good writer. It doesn't matter how you write it. Just write it as it is. Even if you write and your mind is racing so much that you can barely finish a sentence, it's fine. Leave it halfway and start the other sentence. Just get your thoughts out on paper, because that helps you to declutter your mind. And when you're able to declutter your mind, then you're actually able to get to a point where you don't feel so overwhelmed by all the thoughts that are running in your head, so much so that you're like, oh, you know what, I just want to sleep, so I don't think anything or I don't feel anything. Write it down or speak to someone. Speak to someone that you can trust. Tell them exactly how you feel. And it helps to tell that person before you even start talking that, hey, listen, today I don't think I need advice. I just need you to listen. I just need someone to listen to me, because I have a lot that I want to say, and to speak your feelings. I do this now with God, because I have people in my life, but I feel like there's certain things that you just need to keep between you and God. There's just certain things that you need to take before God, because only He can help me. You know, like only He can help you with it. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I was saying. My fourth point is that you speak to someone, find someone to talk to, be it a trusted friend, a therapist, if you can afford therapy, or even if you don't have anyone that you can talk to and you can't afford therapy, get a journal and actually write your thoughts down. Um, it helps to speak to someone because then you can get a fresh perspective on what you're going through, especially if it's an actual professional. But more than anything, it it helps to speak to someone who can validate your emotions, because in most cases what you're going through is something that, based on my experience, right, based on my experience, there are certain things that I've been through where I felt like I didn't really need advice. I just needed someone to listen to me and allow me to talk about what I was going through and know that my feelings are valid. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But that is why now I do that in prayer, where I speak to God and I invite Him in. I'm like, okay, God, this is what I'm feeling. And I don't know, this is why I'm feeling this way. I don't know how to navigate this. I don't know how I'm supposed to get out of this state of mind. But I'm going to allow myself to go through the emotions right now. If I need to write certain things down, I write them down. And for me, it helps to do this in prayer, because then in prayer, I can literally write down all my feelings. I can be like, okay, right now, I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling fear. I'm feeling anger. I'm feeling bitterness. And then I can literally go down into my Bible, or I can literally go to my Bible and find a verse that speaks against those things. I can find a verse that speaks against fear. I can find a verse that speaks against bitterness, and I'm able to deal with that heads on. What I don't do, which I used to do a lot of, is put things on the back of my mind, be like, I'll deal with them later. They pile up. What happens when you don't sweep a house? The dust just keeps piling up. It just keeps, accumulating. And by the time you're like, sheesh, I really needed to do something about that, you're so discouraged by how much of dirt there is that you're like, maybe just leave it like that. So yeah, just deal with things heads on. Speak to someone if you can. Get into therapy if you can, and or get a journal if you really need to. Or speak to God. God wants to hear from you. He wants to help you. In fact, He's the only person that can really help you navigate this. But the reason why I suggest the other three things is because I know that there's been times where I've been like, God, please help me. Like, for instance, I don't drink alcohol anymore, but I started drinking when I was 9. And by the time I was 11, I was drinking alcohol like it was juice, y'all. And that was because of my environment and my background or whatever. But like, what I'm trying to get to is that by the time I was 19 or 18, rather, I was smoking weed, I was smoking cigarettes, and I was drinking alcohol literally to cope. I felt like I couldn't be myself if I didn't have a drink. It gave me a little confidence, and I could just freely dance if I wanted to dance, if I just had a sip. And then I got into toxic relationships, and I used alcohol to escape. And so things like that, like for instance, I had to go to God recently and be like, okay, God, obviously when I fell pregnant, I couldn't drink alcohol, and I didn't drink for about a year and a half. But recently I started drinking again, and then I was like, nah, I actually don't want to do this anymore. Recently being the beginning of this year, and I was like, nah, I actually don't want to do this anymore. And so I had to take it to God and be like, God, please help me get rid of my alcohol addiction, because I would crave alcohol, y'all. And they were like, I would pray about it, and I got to a point where God was like, okay, listen, you can only do so much praying about this, but there's certain things that you need to actually act on. And that, for me, that was getting into therapy. And I'm in holistic therapy, which employs tools like hypnotherapy, and like, my therapist is really good, y'all. I can literally recommend my therapist to you guys. He's really, really good. He's very knowledgeable about what he does. I can hit him up anytime. Like, if I'm having a breakdown in the middle of the night, I can literally send him a voice note and be like, yo, this is what I'm feeling right now. And I'm fortunate enough to be able to articulate my feelings, but even when I'm not, he can literally help me articulate what I'm feeling and then help me navigate my way out of it. But just having that thinking that person is willing to hear me out or willing to just, impart some of their knowledge helps a lot. But yeah, man, like things like that. It helps to pray, but also sometimes like it's just as how it was in the Bible. There were two blind men Jesus healed, but he didn't heal them the same way. It's the same with God. We can't go to God and be like, oh God, please help me with this, and you just sit there in prayer, and God is like, okay, I can help you with it, but for this you need to go to therapy, or I can help you fix your marriage, but y'all need to go to marriage counseling, because God works through people as well. God works through everything. God's creative, man. Come on. So don't limit him. Don't limit yourself. And don't stay stuck. Don't stay stuck. The whole point of this is to get unstuck, right? So yeah, man. And then what else? The last, and I think this is the most important thing, is to be committed to yourself. Like really, 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 really stay committed to you. Commit to your change. Commit to becoming better. There's this thing that we do as humans where we excel when we're doing things to please other people, be it like your job, for instance. You want to do your job to the best of your ability so your boss can notice you so you can get a promotion. But when it comes to your mental health, you postpone and you're like, it's fine. I've been living with this for a couple of years. I can handle it. But what you don't understand is that the longer you leave it to lurk, the more it eats at you and the more damage it does. And so when you decide that you now want to change things, it's very easy to fall back into the trap of, oh, you know what, it's hard. Or you'll go to one therapy session, you'll feel like, oh, I got all the answers I needed, and I don't need therapy anymore. Or I can go a couple of months without therapy. Don't do that. That's a trap. That's false confidence, and it doesn't last. So stay the course. Be committed to you being better, becoming better. Be committed to seeing the change that you desire. Be committed to making it happen. Be committed to showing up for you, because no one else is going to show up for you like you can show up for you. And you need to do that. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to the person that you're supposed to become in order to do whatever it is that God purposed for you to do on earth, to become better. You owe yourself that much. So yeah, man, be committed to the process. I know, for instance, with my therapist is good. He's really good. Like, he's really good. Like, after every therapy session, I will literally leave feeling like, you know what, I got the help that I needed. And not in the sense that, oh, I spoke and now my heart is empty and, I feel relieved. No. Like, after my last therapy session, I literally quit alcohol. I haven't desired alcohol. I haven't craved alcohol. In fact, every time I see alcohol, I can't even remember the taste of alcohol. And water has never tasted so good. And I've been sober now for about 2 months. Yeah, I've been sober for about 2 months, which is big for me. It's really big for me because I was the type, like, I had to have a bottle of wine in my place. That's why I have this wine rack, and it's empty now. But my wine rack it always has something on it, because I would literally find a reason to drink for anything. Like, I wasn't like drink and lose myself kind of person. No, I would just drink. Like, I'd have a glass of wine a night or 2 glasses of wine per night. But the point I'm trying to make was that I would drink even when I didn't want to drink. But I had to stay committed to being, better, and stay committed. Like, I had to dig deep and find real reasons as to why I couldn't keep doing what I was doing that was detrimental to my well-being back then. So for me, that looked like me deciding that I want to have 5 children, for instance. This is just an example. So now, if I want to have 5 children and I'm busy killing my body with alcohol, because alcohol is poison. Just because it's legal doesn't mean it's, it's okay, or like it's not poison, or it's not an actual drug. It is a drug. It's just a legal drug, like sugar. But like, I had to get over. I was like, okay, if I want to have 5 children, but I'm busy putting my body through so much poison, what's that going to look like? Am I going to have healthy kids? Even if I do have healthy kids, I'm doing something that might be inherent to them. Like they might grow up to be alcoholics because their mom was an alcoholic, something like that. Like I had to find bigger reasons, bigger, you know, and real deep things to hold on to in terms of like being committed to my change. Like for instance, me exercising. I recently started exercising again. My reasons for exercising previously were very messed up, and that was due to my very toxic marriage and whatever. But now I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it because my body feels good when I exercise. I'm not doing it to please anyone. I'm not posting about it. I'm not, you know, sharing my journey. I'm doing something that makes me feel good. I'm doing something that is good for my body, and I'm able to do it at the pace at which I like to do it. And I stay committed, and I keep that mental discipline to stay the course by reminding myself of the reason why I'm doing it, and that is for me, because I want to be better, because I want to have my my six pack back. I already have a flat tummy, but I want that six pack, girl. You know, like things like that. I'm young. I'm 22. I'm a mom, yeah, but I'm young. I'm 22. I want to rock a bikini in summer. Things like that. Like I needed to. You need to dig deeper and find reasons that are honest and true to you that you can hold on to in order for you to be able to stay the course and stay your journey and stay committed to becoming better. And then I think that's it for this video. And then just a reminder to be patient with yourself. It's not gonna be easy. In fact, it's gonna be hard, but it's gonna be beautiful. You need to give yourself the credit that you deserve every time that you stay the course. Reward yourself. Not those funny rules like you buying yourself chocolate and then becoming fat because no, don't do that. But like reward yourself, you know, like give yourself credit when it's due. Be kind to yourself, you know? You showed up for you, you're doing what's good for you, and ultimately you're headed somewhere great. You're becoming greater. And there's nothing more important than that, honestly. Like, because at the end of the day, if you're not good, that influences and affects every relationship that you are a part of. If you're not good, your kids feel it, your boyfriend feels it, your family, you know, can sense that, and that's not a good chain reaction to be, you know, like, I don't know, promoting, or like, that's just not good energy to be radiating or oozing. Nah, you ooze goodness, ooze positivity, ooze life, man, you know? So yeah, I think that's about it for this video. I am going to do a very in-depth video on overcoming shame, just because I feel like the previous video was more of a wake-up call to, you know, like help you realize that, or help people realize that everything that happens to you is ultimately happening for you. Life is happening for you, not to you. But I'm going to do a video that actually gives you the tools to overcome shame, like practical tools that you can employ to overcome shame in that moment when you're triggered, what to do, how to get out of that mindset, how to, you know, get yourself moving in the right direction towards your healing, how to stay. Look, what I'm gonna do a video on all of that, so stay tuned for that. That is my next video. I'm still doing a whole lot of research while employing my own experiences and, you know, the Bible as well. Y'all, if you don't want to hear about God, please, like, askis hide, because that's my source. And if God is my source and you're on my channel, you're definitely gonna hear about God. So hide. But yeah, man, stay tuned for what's next, and I'm so glad that you were able to, you know, join me on this video. Please do leave a comment if you want. You're welcome to follow me on Instagram, DM me if you have any questions, or if you'd just like to share something. I'd love to hear from you guys. And yeah, man, till next time, I love you.